Hi guys, this is Psychic Astro and you're watching my November 2025 astrology predictions. So let's get to it. For November 2nd, Venus in Libra will be squaring Jupiter in Cancer. What do I think this means? So if squares are friction, it's miscommunication, it is going to be an energy you're going to feel whether or not you try to avoid this energy. You can't. So Venus is money, it's love, and it's in an energy that talks about other people. It's talking about relationships, signed contracts, close relationships. So it's not necessarily going to be about romance. It could be like your best friend, somebody that you feel extremely close to, and it's talking to your feelings, your emotions. It really does depend on where Cancer is in your natal chart. So for example, if you have Cancer in your second house, then this is telling me money. It's telling me your feelings went too far with money. Like, to me, this energy is saying that you spent too much money because of how you were feeling. You were feeling too happy or you were feeling too sad. Regardless, you spent too much. You weren't thinking straight. If it's not about money, then it's telling me expressing your feelings. You're having difficulty here. It's either you expressed way too much or you didn't express enough. So yeah. When anything is in Libra, usually we're doing too much. It's always the scales, right? And it's hard to get it right here, right? To balance it out. Usually one side takes a hit. So when it's squaring something, it's like, eh. So I expect this type of energy. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave that for now. The next day, November 3rd, Mars in Scorpio is going to be trining Neptune in Pisces in retrograde. So motivated to take action based off of whatever your intuition is telling you. It could be motivated to take action because of money, but regardless, I'm going to say it's your intuition. Just because these are two intuitive energies, Pisces energy and Scorpio energy linking up, and it's a trine, so it's happening effortlessly. It's happening in a very easy type of way, effortlessly. You don't have to do anything. It's just happening. I don't think it means you're going to see it. I think intuitively you're just going to feel it, which direction to go in. Whether this is talking about, to catch somebody in a lie, or, to, I don't know, ask that person out, or to go after the job that you really want. Again, it depends like where Scorpio is and where Pisces is in your chart. But yeah, it can manifest in different ways. But when Mars and Neptune are talking to each other in a positive way, I always think of being motivated to go after your dreams, or motivated to go after something you want, motivated by spirit. That's what I think of. Is there anything else I want to add on to that? Motivated by your intuition. You're just going to get an intuitive hit, you're going to feel it, and you're going to go after it, whatever that is. So if it's in your 6th house, let's say it's Scorpio or Pisces, whichever one, I feel like it's going to connect to work, or something about your workout regimen, your schedule. Like today's the day to start that workout. Ow, mother. Sorry, I stepped on something sharp. Let's just move on. November 4th, Mars enters Sagittarius. Okay, so Mars in Sagittarius, to me, this feels like a fun energy. Sagittarius energy is fun, and it's usually motivated. It's usually, whether it's consciously aware of it or not, it's being encouraged by spirit to go in a certain direction. So I feel like if Mars, so I want to say that Mars in Sagittarius to me feels like a fun energy, and I feel like you're being motivated by spirit to follow your intuition. I think of also a healing journey as well, just because Mars is the ruler of Aries and we have Chiron and Ceres there currently. Chiron talks about our pain, and then Ceres talks about how to, the best way about how to nurture ourselves during this time. So with the 9th house, I feel like this is like a spiritual guru. It could be whatever it is you believe in. It could be a traditional type of belief. Doesn't necessarily have to be spirituality. But I feel like you guys would be motivated by spirit to believe in something and to take action with whatever that is. And to expand upon that in order to feel emotionally fulfilled at this time. So yeah, what else do I want to say about that? Taking action based off of your intuition. It's just a fun energy. And I feel like you guys also would be motivated to go out, definitely. And it gives me childlike vibes, even though it's like in a very elder type of energy. Mars being there is a childlike energy, so it's like a mix. So it just feels like a good time. All right, what else? That same day, November 4th, we have Mars in Sagittarius, opposite Uranus in Gemini in retrograde. So I would write this down, November 4th. Maybe write down November 2nd to give yourself a heads up around November 4th, because Mars being in opposition to Uranus and retrograde in Gemini gives me the vibes of a potential argument or delays in traffic or people just acting the fuck up, okay? Because I feel like with Mars being in Sagittarius, you guys or other people are willing to fight over a belief. And Uranus in retrograde in Gemini tells me this would be with your people, with your friends, people you know, and it would be about a topic that you've already fought about, or it's a topic that already has come up, and this time you or other people are willing to fight about it. It may not necessarily be about a belief system, but it may just be something you feel dogmatic about. So it may not necessarily be your people, but it could be people on the internet. It could be, honestly, this could be while you're traveling. Just be careful around this time, because these are two fast energies. Because Uranus, I think of the Tower card with Aquarius energy. So even though I think it's technically Mars in Aquarius with that Tower card in tarot, I don't care. I just, they both, Uranus and Mars both want freedom. They both want independence, but they're both in opposition to each other. They're both needing to meet each other halfway, but will they? It takes compromise. So just be wary on that day. That's all. Okay, November 5th, the following day, there's going to be a full moon in Taurus. Okay, so there's going to be a full moon on November 5th in Taurus. I think something's going to be illuminated on an intuitive level with you guys. I think it's going to consist of either your throat chakra or your money situation. And it's either going to be about you or another person. The reason I'm going there is because Venus is the ruler of Taurus, and Venus will be in Libra during this full moon. So again, Venus being in Libra, this talks about your close relationships or somebody you are currently in a relationship with or somebody that you're dating. So what is their money situation like? Or again, with that Venus squaring Jupiter in Cancer, are you guys able to express your feelings, or are people trying to get you to express your feelings? The reason I'm going there is because this is on that Taurus Scorpio axis, and we have the Sun and Lilith there in Scorpio already. So it may be hard to see where your heart's at, and people may be like probing. They may I hope not. No, but seriously, they may be pushing. Anyway, I just think it may be rather forceful. This is getting weird. Anyway, but it may be a moment of self-reflection for you guys, is what I'm getting. So, anything else I want to say to that? Venus is in Libra. No. Again, Taurus rules the throat chakra, so I feel like something would be illuminated regarding something you say, or something somebody else says, or something regarding your finances, or possibly what it is you value. This could be changing during this time. So the next day, November 6th, Mars in Sagittarius will be sextiling Pluto in Aquarius. So a sextile is an energy that requires action on your part. So if you guys don't do this, then this is just an energy that will sit there. Mars is action, and it's also the soldier. So it requires you to do something. And Pluto is the lieutenant. Pluto is boss energy. Yes, like the lower energy of this, like the unevolved energy, would be being manipulative, secretive, lying, trying to get your secrets but not sharing their secrets. And then the lower unevolved energy of Mars would be fighting, both of these energies, unevolved, are just god awful. Let's just put it that way without putting it into words. It's just the worst of the worst. Okay, Mars is the original ruler of Scorpio. So, but they're talking to each other in a nice way. And it's the 9th house and the 11th house. So having faith, I feel like, in groups of people, having faith in a cause and getting together for it. I feel like being a leader. That's what this energy is saying. So maybe if you guys haven't had faith in your people, your group of people, I feel like this is a day to believe in them again. So the way it's being shown to me is, it feels like you're doing something with a group of people, or you're doing something that comes off as leadership abilities. So maybe this is on the internet, online, okay? And it could be based off of beliefs you have, or if you guys are teachers, you guys could be teaching something on the internet. All right, let's move on. So that same day, November 6th, Venus enters Scorpio. I can't help but laugh because it's I don't know. So anyway, Venus enters Scorpio. What can we expect as the collective? Intimacy, wanting to get to know people on a deeper level, wanting to get to know how much people make, wanting to know what people's intentions are, wanting to know I'm getting detective energy with Venus in Scorpio. So Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio and it's in Aquarius. Okay, so this makes sense to me. 8th house energy is detective energy. So, but when I dive a little deeper, Uranus is in retrograde in Gemini. So questions. So people will be annoying. That's what people will be. I feel like that is 8th house energy. People don't like... With 8th house placements, I feel like people don't like to be questioned. So I feel like people will be wanting to know other people's intentions. This way they don't get hurt. Because I keep getting this like wary type of energy. It feels like somebody's on this side and the other person's on this side and they're kind of doing this. Does that make sense? They're like, what do you want? What are you doing? Huh? So every time I close my eyes, I keep getting this push-pull energy. So I feel like this makes sense because, again, Pluto is in Aquarius. And if this is the ruler of Scorpio and this is where Venus is right now, then I feel like it's not necessarily going to be so serious. It's not necessarily going to be so deep. So for those of you that are looking for something serious or deep, you do, I'm always going to say this, you do have to make sure you understand people's intentions. Because just because Venus is in Scorpio in the cosmos, it doesn't mean that we're all looking for that right now. It depends where somebody's Scorpio is in their chart. So for example, I see Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is in Gemini. Gemini energy can go either way. It doesn't mean it's necessarily looking for something deep. It just doesn't. And the fact that Pluto is in Aquarius, if Pluto is this deep, deep energy and it's in Aquarius, it's like, not so much. Not so much. And I'm not saying Aquariuses aren't deep. I feel like Aquarius energy could be super deep and intimate if maybe Aquarius is in the 8th house. You see what I'm trying to say? And obviously there's other houses that I think could be super deep and intense. But, so yeah, I think this is just going to be detective energy. You just need to make sure that if you're looking for something real, make sure the other person is too. They're not just trying to get the putang, you know what I mean? Because here we go. Like I just said, November 7th, Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus. You guys aren't paying attention, pay the fuck attention. Listen up. So what has changed in your life since 2018? There is a storyline playing out. I know there's always a storyline playing out with astrology, but there really specifically is, there's just always a little bit of a different storyline playing out. So since 2018, something should have changed with how you guys make money. Something should have changed with what you guys value in life now. Your money, your wallet, the things you guys own. There should have been some type of shake-up. That's what Uranus does. There is a shake-up, literally. It's like a fucking earthquake. So it depends where you guys have Taurus in your own natal chart. But regardless, I would be surprised if you guys said there wouldn't have been this change. I mean, yeah, we can say something like, well, it's been 10 years now, almost 10 years, so doesn't that happen? No, it doesn't always happen that way. Okay? It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes people are able to keep everything the same with Taurus energy. So my point is, hold on, I'm rambling. The point here is that Venus is the ruler of Taurus, okay? It's now in a very deep, intimate sign, Scorpio, okay? And that's not for everybody, right? But now at the same time, Uranus is going back into Taurus well, actually, you gotta do that on your own. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think this is the last time, maybe not, double check it, sorry. Anyway, but it's going back into Taurus. So what have we learned with Uranus going back into Taurus? What do we value? How are we making our money? Are we making it? Basically, when I channel this, I'm getting the material realm versus the spiritual realm. And I know that we're not all going to possibly be able to make money in a way that connects to the heart. I know that because it's just not possible for all of us. Sometimes we just don't have the time. We don't have the resources. But then what about what it is we value? Do we know what we actually genuinely want out of life, or the type of people we want in our life? So it's like the universe or spirit, whatever it is you believe in, is trying to shake you to try to get you to realize this so you can stop attracting garbage, fucking garbage. So You may want to stick with what it is you feel comfortable with, what you know, what you've always known, because that's what Taurus energy does. It likes to just stick with what it knows. It likes to just stick with what it feels comfortable with. It's a horrible habit, but it just has a habit of doing this. And by the way, I'm talking about all of us. I'm not calling out Taurus energy in general. We all have Taurus energy in our natal chart. So wherever you guys have Taurus energy, you do this. Literally, you do that, okay? We all do it. With Venus, the ruler of Taurus and Scorpio, you're asking to go a little bit deeper. So, for example, Uranus, I think of breaking free, okay? I think of breaking free from limited beliefs, just being able to break free from things that hold us back. So, again, wherever Taurus is in your natal chart, you may not have been able to fully do this just yet. So I feel like that Venus in Scorpio is going to be able to help you guys. Yeah, I think that's it. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of self-reflection once Uranus goes back into Taurus in retrograde. Okay. Let's see what else. Because basically you're being asked to transform. That's what you're being asked, because Pluto is now in Aquarius. So it's like you're feeling that Uranus and Taurus in retrograde a little bit differently this time. Okay. All right, that same day, November 7th, Venus in Scorpio is squaring Pluto in Aquarius. It's another date you want to write down. I would say on November 3rd, you should write down, give yourself a heads up around November 5th through maybe the 9th, that people will be acting the fuck up. They'll be acting a little dominant. People would basically not want to get hurt again. So they're going to try to figure out through words, communication. I know this isn't Mercury, but I'm telling you what I'm picking up here with the throat chakra, Taurus. They would be doing things in a manipulative way to try to get you to open up, to try to get you to show your cards. But they wouldn't want to show their cards because they want to feel like they're safe. So it would either be that or possibly to take advantage. That's what I think. So just be careful. Or this is definitely taking advantage of you and potentially maybe your money, if somebody thinks you have a lot of money. Anything else I want to say to that one? Pluto's in Aquarius, squaring Venus and Scorpio. Just jealousy. That's what I think of. I'm just trying to dominate. Okay, so November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius. So besides traveling delays, I really think this one would manifest as difficulty opening up. This is difficulty with expression. This is what I think. Because November 11th, a few days later, Jupiter goes retrograde in Cancer. And Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. If Cancer is emotions, feelings, and even though it's exalted with Jupiter being there, Mercury is our thoughts, communication. It's like there is a slowdown. There is a slowdown. So I don't think you're going to have a good time opening up. Now, here's the problem with this energy. Now, Sagittarius energy is very positive. It's optimistic. This is why we love Sagittarius energy. But Mars is in Sagittarius, so this isn't going to help, because it's like, the way I picture this is kind of like, I feel like either you guys or other people are going to try to poke us to talk. I'm telling you, I keep getting it. I feel like I was getting it for October as well. So did that happen last month? I don't know. I'm just kidding. I do know. I do know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know. Because it's all manifesting differently for us, right? So I just feel like I feel like boundaries don't exist with Sagittarius energy. I'm just going to keep it real. This is one of my favorite zodiac signs. However, there is a huge trend with Sagittariuses where there's like no boundaries and they don't give a fuck. They literally don't give a fuck about boundaries. So I feel like since Mercury is going to be there, communication, thoughts, if you guys are not communicating or there's little to no communication, people are going to try to get you guys to talk. And to what degree, you know? So Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Nothing's going on in Gemini. But the South Node is there, the past. So people from the past may come back. I don't always think that's a thing with every Mercury retrograde. But this may be one of those. You ever just want to slap a fucking group chat? You ever just want to do that? I hate fucking group chats. I wish I knew how to fucking silent my phone. I need a class on basic phone shit. Anyway, November 12th, Mercury in Sagittarius in retrograde conjuncts Mars in Sagittarius. So yeah, I think there's going to be conflicts. I think this is going to manifest one of two ways. It's either going to be motivate you guys to take action, to go somewhere. That's what Mars conjunct Mercury does. Or it causes mental conflict, or it causes arguments. That's really it. It's going to be one of those. And the conflict would be that you guys are having difficulty opening up emotionally, and people are going to want you guys to open up. Fun fact, you can react to people's text messages with a zodiac sign. So, worth it. That was actually good. All right, November 15th, Vesta enters Capricorn. All right, so the flame that never dies, that's Vesta for you. So the flame that never dies, I was channeling this and I'm actually getting faith. Having faith in achieving, believing. So I believe this is because Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, is currently in Pisces. So wherever Pisces is for you guys, I feel like you're going to want to have faith in achieving whatever this is for you guys. So if Pisces is in your third house of communication, then maybe you guys are going to want to, you know, lock it in. Maybe you guys aren't going to want to communicate as much. Maybe you guys are going to watch what you say. If it's in your sixth house, maybe you want to get very serious about your regimen, your workout, or an actual job, like a more serious job. Or if it's in your seventh house, maybe you guys, you know, that can manifest either as like a serious relationship, or you are staying away from relationships because, you know, maybe you want to focus on yourself. That's what I think personally. So yeah, anyway, that's how I'm channeling it with Vesta. So the flame is pretty much having faith in achieving wherever Pisces is for you guys. So November 16th, Sun in Scorpio is trining Jupiter in Cancer in retrograde. Again, another intuitive hit, another download. I feel like you guys are going to be able to feel something very clearly. I don't think you're necessarily going to see it, but you're going to feel it very clearly. I know that sounds a little contradicting, but you just got to pay attention. I feel like you guys are going to feel it, whatever this is in your own life. So this could be somebody's intention, somebody's feelings towards you, because again, Jupiter in Cancer, this is the emotional realm. This is, or I mean, if you guys have Cancer in the 11th, I was saying if let's say you have Cancer in the 11th house, you could be seeing clearly your friend's emotions towards you, or, you know, you could be getting intuitive hits and seeing them clearly. This is what I want to say. Let's see. This could be you wanting to help people during this time, or people wanting to help you. That's also something I'm getting. The next day, Sun in Scorpio will be trining Saturn in Pisces in retrograde. Again, I feel like this is another intuitive hit, just because it's Scorpio and Pisces talking to each other in a very easy way. So the Sun talking to Saturn, to me, whatever it is you guys need to get done, or work at or do, like if it's a responsibility, despite the fact that Saturn's still in retrograde, I think you can very much get this done, whatever this is. So I feel like you guys would have the energy, the willpower to do this, whatever this is. Let's see if there's anything else. I think for some of you, this may be behaving, or acting mature. Yeah, I'm definitely getting for some of you, this is expressing yourself, like being able to easily express yourself. Being able to show your deep side, like, or being able to open up easily. That's what I'm trying to say. Wait, go back for a second. I think also going back to November 16th, Sun in Scorpio, trining Jupiter in Cancer in retrograde, I think opening up easier would definitely manifest as well, despite the fact that Jupiter would be in retrograde. And I also think that's what Vesta in Capricorn is like. I think that's the flame as well, like to achieve and have faith in yourself. Okay, so November 17th, we have Mercury in Sagittarius in retrograde, sextiling Pluto in Aquarius. So again, a sextile, this is an energy that just stays there unless you guys are putting work into this. So on this day, you basically have a chance to transform your mind, change the way you think about something. So because Mercury's in retrograde, I think this is an old idea, an old belief. It could be something you feel dogmatic about, or this could be how you guys manifest. It could be something, a belief system you have about manifestation practices. It could be how you communicate in a powerful way. I'm getting healing conversations with people. So again, a sextile doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Because Pluto is all about transformation. Something must die in order for something to be reborn again. And then Mercury is about conversations, your thoughts. All right. September 18th, Mercury goes retrograde in Scorpio. So when Mercury goes back into Scorpio, but it's in retrograde, I still feel like it's giving the same vibes, which is secrets coming out. I also think another way to look at this is wanting to get to know somebody on a deeper level. The fact that Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini, except nothing's going on in Gemini, it's just the South Node in Virgo, which talks about the past. I think this could be either you guys conversating with people you used to make money from or with, because Virgo's work. Scorpio energy talks about shared money, like somebody either maybe you were married with. I honestly just look at this as shared resources. So that could be possible, or it's just somebody you guys were intimate with as well. So I do think this could be either talking to somebody from the past, talking to somebody you guys maybe slept with. If it's not that, then I just think secrets are coming out, things are resurfacing. And again, I'm going to look at where Pluto is, because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio and it's in Aquarius. So I feel like people would be talking about this. So Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. It's in retrograde in Taurus. People would be talking about your money. This is what I keep getting. I keep getting this. People would be nosy about your money situation. And I think this includes whoever you guys are hooking up with. Either you guys are trying to figure out who other people are sleeping with, or people are trying to figure out who you're sleeping with. Mercury and Scorpio also... Mercury and Scorpio also, the vibes are deleted conversations, hidden messages. Said this in the last video, watch your fucking back. No, but seriously, and like the because it's not all bad energy, but the other side to this would be just people wanting to get to know you. But how are they going about it? Are they being direct? I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. All right, November 19th, Mercury in Scorpio is in opposition to Uranus and Taurus. No, write this date down. So it's November 19th. I would say November 15th is a safe bet. Write down, be on the lookout. November 17th to the 23rd. Potential arguments. Also drive slow, for sure. So I feel like Mercury opposing Uranus, it's like suddenly out of nowhere, there could be an argument. There could be a conversation about money, just because Uranus is in Taurus. Or it just could be literally the throat chakra, something suddenly being said. And it would be something like, I'm telling you, either deceptive or it's something hidden coming, you know, up to the surface. It's like, if it's not a secret, it's just something that was supposed to not be spoken about. Or like I said before, it could be traveling, delays. It's definitely inner friction though, I'll tell you that. You're gonna feel it regardless. So yeah. Let's see. November 19th, Mercury in Scorpio is in retrograde, trining Neptune and Pisces in retrograde. So again, intuitive hits, you can feel this. Actually, to me, that's psychic. That is like very intuitive messages, maybe even your dreams. So I feel like you guys could even ask for divine guidance with that type of transit, even though Neptune's in retrograde. So like keep a dream journal. What I would say is like ask spirit a question the night before, write it down, see if you get an answer. So usually like you would wake up in the middle of the night, and definitely wake up in the middle of the night and write it down. And usually it's some type of obscure, weird dream, but honestly it's like how the divine spirits talk to us. Usually psychics just aren't telling you the weird symbolism they're getting 9 out of 10 times. I'm just the only fool that is. So yeah, because it's like if you just write down whatever it is that happened and you just keep replaying it over and over, I guarantee you eventually you can break down the messages, or you could pay somebody to do that for you guys. Anyway, Okay, so Mercury trining Neptune, anything else? Intuitive hits, intuitive messages, dreams, the dead speaking to you. I don't think I said that. Oh yeah, that's another one with Mercury and Scorpio. The dead talking to you for sure. No, that's it. All right, November 19th, that same day, new moon in Scorpio. All right, so something new happening. What do I think this something new would be? So Pluto's the ruler of this moon, right? Something new either with finances, something new regarding conversations, I'm telling you. God, look at that stellium. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. No, 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 no. Okay, so I think for some of you, this is talking about intimacy. So maybe out of nowhere, you guys get lucky. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Anything else? What the hell? I feel like for others, you're starting like a new job, some type of business. I'm getting money. You're putting work in. So to me, seeing this 8th house stellium, I think of magic. I think of psychic work. If it's not that, then maybe you guys are starting a partnership with somebody else. Shared resources. But I'm seeing work. I'm seeing you guys work. You'd be working with others. I feel like healing others, honestly, because Scorpio energy is healer energy. And this would make sense to me, again, because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius and it's in Taurus. So there is a shakeup for the positive. So it's like you see where the story would be unfolding for some of you with that new moon in Scorpio, because you guys are maybe changing up how you make your money. Or at least some of you guys are. Okay, so September 20th, the sun in Scorpio is going to be conjunct Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio. So I believe anytime the sun is talking to Mercury in a positive way, it's basically highlighting something. You're able to see something that maybe you would have difficulty seeing or understanding. It's a very intellectual energy. So I think being able to communicate something, especially since it's in Scorpio, you would be able to see or understand something that's very psychological, or see something that's very dark. You would be able to see other people's dark side, people's shadows very easily. You may be communicating this at this time. You may be seeing your own shadow at this time. I think whoever you guys are talking to at this time, you're going to see their shadows. Like you're going to see something you don't like about them. That sucks. Okay, so Ceres goes direct in Aries, November 21st. So Ceres is all about the best way to nurture yourself, and it's in Aries. So how to nurture yourself. I want to see where Mars is. Mars is currently in Sagittarius. So I do feel like they're correlated somehow. So how to nurture yourself, Aries. Honestly, typical Aries-like stuff. How to nurture yourself. Focus on yourself. Not relationships, not other people. Nurture yourself. So Chiron being in Aries tells me that we're all dealing with some type of either inner child wound, or some type of lack in self-confidence, or some type of issue with being alone, being on our own. Yeah. And Mars being the ruler of Aries in Sagittarius, I feel like it would help us all by, I want to say Again, like if you're always at home, going out on an adventure, traveling, going somewhere, I want to say out of the country, somewhere you've always dreamed of going. But I really want to say, I want to say traveling with friends. That's what I want to say. I know there's nothing in Gemini right now. Oh, you know why? Because the North Node is in Pisces. Did I say traveling far away? Possibly to a place that is out of the country, or spiritual, or whatever it is you guys believe in, or, you know, don't believe in. Just a place that you guys have always dreamed of going to. That may be very nurturing, healing for you guys during this time. But most importantly, above all, just focus on yourself. Even if you're that type that's like, I want a relationship, or I want to be with somebody, or I'm telling you, like, just do what you want. There's nothing in Libra right now. If there was something in Libra, then I would say try to balance those scales, but there's not. All right, that same day, November 21st, Sun in Scorpio is opposing Uranus and Taurus. It's a loud energy. It's a loud ass energy. So self-expression may be really loud. Meaning, like, again, I feel like I keep getting like people trying. Either you're trying to get yourself to open up, or people are trying to get you guys to open up. November. This isn't a surprise. Why do I keep acting like this is a surprise? This is Scorpio season, turning into Sagittarius season. This is on me. I should have known better. I'm like, why? Why? Because this is prying ass energy. This is why. So again, oppositions, this is like an energy that is out of your control. The advice here is to meet people halfway. Oh. So the Sun opposing Uranus, I just feel like this is trying to get people to talk. This may be you trying to express yourself, maybe trying to express your, you know, weirdness, or this may be people trying to get you to express yourself, or you may randomly express yourself, but it comes out not authentic, you know, because it's not a natural. Oppositions aren't like natural. They're complicated. I feel like the energy I keep getting is like a door prying open, like somebody trying to pry open your door. So yeah, let me try one more time. I feel like I'm also getting like loner vibes. So like you guys or another person may want to be alone, and then the other person doesn't want to be alone. So it's like they're checking in, but they're unsure. So it's like, just try to be wary. Just try to accept whatever the energy is, and try not to force what it isn't. Did that make sense? I think so. All right, that same day, November 21st, Sun in Scorpio trines Neptune in Pisces in retrograde. So it's very intuitive energy, honestly. So I feel like you guys would be not necessarily seeing something, but feeling something for exactly as it is. You may just not like what it is you feel, and you may try to force it into something it isn't. Try not to do that. Try not to do that, because I think with that Sun opposing Uranus, you may get backlash, or it may turn into an argument. Because I feel like, yeah, we'll just leave it there. I do think another way to look at this energy, Sun trining Neptune, a good day to be creative. I also think it's a good day for healing. And I think a lot of people will need that day. So yeah, November 21st, Sun enters Sagittarius. I think we're also going to need this energy too. I think we're all going to need some fun in our life, okay? We're going to need some optimism. So, I think a lot of you are getting the boot. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to be upfront, straight up. So for those of you that are talking to somebody during this time, you're making the cut. You're not making it to the next round. So whatever it is you believe in, source, universe, God, is giving you the sun to be happy, to believe that something else is coming your way. Okay? And we already have Mars here to motivate you to believe. Okay? So stay happy. So yeah, anyway, so Sun and Sagittarius energy. Honestly, you guys really got good stuff going on here. We got things to motivate you to believe, to manifest. Yeah, so I really think this is the time to get into your manifestation practices. How do you guys manifest? Do you guys do it verbally? Do you write it down? Because honestly, Mercury in Scorpio, even though it's in retrograde, it's got magic written all over it. Venus too. And then with the Sun and Mars in Sagittarius, I think you should definitely look into manifesting during this time. Okay, let's see. So it's interesting. I do think when Mercury goes retrograde, and Jupiter goes retrograde, I feel like you guys are going to have difficulty wanting to go out, because I'm surprised what I'm channeling with the Sun in Sagittarius. I'm not getting this like going out energy. It's weird. So you guys may want to actually stay home. Super weird. Okay, so on November 23rd, we have Sun in Sagittarius, sextiling Pluto in Aquarius. So again, a sextile is talking about the potential. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. But when the Sun and Pluto are talking to each other in a positive way, this means the possibility to change something for the positive. So since Pluto is currently in Aquarius, I think of friends, I think of social networking, I think of other people, I think of groups of people. And the Sun, I think of you guys, like literally self-expression. I think of you guys socializing with people. I think of how you guys, I think of your self-expression and transforming this. I think you guys trying to uplift yourself or believing in the people again, or trying to uplift yourself. Something like this. Hold on. I think you guys may be going out with friends to have fun. That's also what I'm getting. So let's see, Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius and it's in Taurus. Yeah, you guys may be going out with friends. You may be spending money. Let's see, Jupiter. You guys may be going out locally with friends. Something like that. All right. The next day, November 24th, Mercury in Scorpio in retrograde is conjunct Venus in Scorpio. So Mercury is talking to Venus in a positive way, but it's in retrograde. So it's either conversations with the people you guys are hooking up with, or you're just having deep conversations with people you feel close to. It could be just deep, intimate conversations, or it could be conversations about money, could be conversations with people that you're close to about the people you're, into or hooking up with. Could be just conversations. These are just private conversations, okay? And these are conversations about, you know, private matters, and like your, and I feel like they're old topics that you're revisiting. Let me see something. So Venus rules Libra, there's nothing there. Venus rules Taurus, we have Uranus in retrograde. Right, so you're revisiting something, you're self-reflecting on either, again, your wallet, things you own, or things you value. Maybe you're not opening up, but I doubt it. You're probably opening up to not many people, but somebody in your life. Mercury rules Virgo, South Node's there, the past. I feel like, yeah, this is either people you guys, again, either have worked with and you guys are talking about your money situation, or you're talking about the people you've slept with. For some of you, you could be talking about trying to get in shape and wanting to look good. I don't think so, though. No. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Okay. But definitely emotions would definitely be running high, like, for sure. This is like obsession type of energy. Okay. Okay. November 25th, Venus in Scorpio is trining Saturn in Pisces in retrograde. So Venus and Saturn. So Saturn being in retrograde. I hate the fucking phone. I hate the phone. Saturn and, okay, hold on. So this to me makes sense, what I'm seeing. I feel like with Venus and Scorpio being so deep and wanting to merge and to be one, and Saturn having no boundaries while it's in Pisces, and Pisces constantly ever like being in this energy of not knowing boundaries. Like when one door closes, does one door open? Like it's always in this weird funky space of an energy. What I'm trying to say is I feel like you guys won't know any boundaries. Like it's almost like intuitively you're going to feel like you can, I don't want to say push people's boundaries, but you can, it's almost as if you guys can feel like people won't have any boundaries during this time. And channel that one more time. So yeah, I'm specifically getting Mercury in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio energy, and Saturn with no boundaries. So I think while Mercury, okay, listen up. While Mercury is in retrograde, I do feel like you guys are going to be talking to people from the past. I feel like it's almost as if conversations, like you guys will either be doing like detective energy or just like there's no boundaries. Like you guys can talk about whatever you want, or you guys feel like feeling people out comes much easier during this time. Okay. So again, intuitive hits. You're feeling your intuition talking to you and telling you, like, guiding you is what I want to say. Spirit, Mars in Sagittarius. All right, so that same day, no, yes, sorry. Venus in Scorpio is trining Jupiter in Cancer. Yeah, it's like an intuitive, yeah, it's another intuitive hit. So Venus in Scorpio again, but it's trining Jupiter in Cancer, and Jupiter in Cancer is in retrograde. So, again, so a trine, it's not necessarily that it's going to be a blessing. It's just that it's an energy that comes through much easier. So the fact that these are two water signs and they're trining, I do think this is definitely going to be your intuition talking to you. Yeah, you guys are definitely talking to people from the past, because I'm seeing it. It's like I'm seeing a window and then I'm seeing like a piece of paper go through the window. So I feel like it's either you guys are talking to people from the past, like people that you guys dated, or you guys are feeling somebody out right now that you're talking to. But yeah, I'm definitely getting reconnecting or just opening up to somebody that you're currently into. Okay, November 26th, Venus in Scorpio trine Saturn in Pisces. Didn't I just say this? No. Yeah, Venus in Scorpio trine Saturn in Pisces on the 25th. This website, sometimes I swear, I'm not even going to entertain it. No. So forget that. November 27th, Saturn goes direct in Pisces. Okay, so boundaries. Saturn goes direct on the 27th. So after the 25th, when Venus was trining Saturn in Pisces while in retrograde, while Venus was trining Jupiter in Cancer in retrograde, it's like 2 days later, Saturn then goes direct, and now there's boundaries. Things are now in order. So let's channel that. Okay, so when I channel this, I'm getting that when Saturn goes direct, the collective is going to want to fix things. They're going to want to, we're all going to want to heal. I'm getting our heart. Hold on. Okay, so I feel like it's going to manifest one of two ways, because I keep seeing like a band-aid over our chest. So I think for some of us, it's going to manifest like our emotional realm for some of us. So whatever we're currently trying to heal from at this time, and like actually follow through with it. And then for others, why do people text like that? Like, really, why? What are you, an animal? I can't stand that shit. Sorry. And then for others, I was seeing that the band-aid over the heart, and then it turns into a wallet. So, and I do think that, I'm just feeling it so strongly. I'm getting Jupiter in Cancer in retrograde for that one. I wish I could explain it to you guys. Maybe it'll come through. And if it does, I'll go back to it, but I'm just getting it, regarding the heart with Cancer. And I know the heart chakra goes back to Leo energy, and I keep going to Cancer, but there's something there about, being responsible and going after, like manifesting on earth, whatever it is you guys are daydreaming about. That's what I'm getting. So for some of you guys, it's going to literally be like money, the material plane, and then for some of you, it's the spiritual plane. And when I say the spiritual plane, I'm talking about like fulfilling your heart's wants. And I'll leave that there. Okay, November 29th, Mercury goes direct in Scorpio. Okay, so when Mercury goes direct, I feel like a lot of us are going to be focusing on, I'm getting material things, honestly. So some of us are going to be focusing on like shopping, buying things, and then others are going to be focusing on what do they want? Like, what does their heart want again? So it's just what I'm getting. That same day, November 29th, Venus in Scorpio is in opposition to Uranus and Taurus and retrograde in Taurus. So again, this is just further confirmation about what it is I'm seeing. There's going to be like this self-reflection energy going on in November, about our values and how they've changed. And there's this material realm and spiritual realm. I mean, I know that these things are like constantly always happening. I mean, because astrology is astrology. It's the same regardless, but there's always going to be more of an emphasis on certain energies one month versus the other month. So I feel like that's what's going on this month more so. So I think it's going to be hard to ignore like I want to say like your earthly wants. You know, I think there's going to be because with an opposition, this is that inner friction. Something is happening outside of your control, and you're asked to compromise. You're asked to meet this energy halfway. So when Venus and Uranus are talking to each other in a negative way, it's like something is happening either with your money, either you're not making as much, or there's an invoice, or you have to pay for something unexpectedly, or you're trying to figure out, what do you want? When Venus is in Scorpio, are you looking for intimacy? Or again, I don't know if it's in this video I said it or another video, but honestly, Venus and Scorpio, it's not going to hit us all the same about like, oh, we all want something deep and intimate. It could, if it's like in a house that's not so deep and you have Venus and Scorpio there, then no, it doesn't mean you're looking for something so deep. So you just got to keep that in mind. I don't want you guys thinking like, oh, we all want something like that. Like, no, it doesn't necessarily mean that. So yeah. All right, let's channel it. For some of you, I'm definitely seeing it. You're trying to not think about material items. You're trying not to shop. That's how I'm seeing it. And then for others, I'm seeing, it feels like unexpected, to say that weird, unexpected conversations, from people from the past. So Uranus being in retrograde in Taurus, this could manifest this way. It's weird because Mercury isn't in retrograde, but so I guess for some of you, while Mercury was in retrograde, if you didn't end up reaching out to anybody from the past, you could have just been reflecting deeply about somebody from the past. And then all of a sudden, while Uranus is in retrograde in opposition to Venus, you may out of nowhere just randomly do this. All right. November 30th, Venus in Scorpio is trining Neptune in Pisces in retrograde. Again, another intuitive, psychic type of placement. I would say keep a dream journal. This is one of those things where you could write down a question to the divine on a piece of paper or your notes in your phone. And I guarantee you could probably get an answer in your dreams. It's just more about, do you believe? If you don't believe, then don't do it. It's not going to work. I could tell you right now. But yeah, it's just Venus and Neptune. This is the divine. So and the fact that it's trining, it's just happening much easier. So I was trying to say before that Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So I think of unconditional love. I just think of a very loving energy here because it's very much in tune. So this is one of those, it's one of those days where I'm not going to say that it's like nothing would bother you, but you would just be able to understand things intuitively to the point where you would understand where people are coming from. And you may not take things as personal. All right, November 30th, Venus enters Sagittarius. Okay, so with Venus in Sagittarius, you guys may spend money on traveling during this time. The reason I'm going there is because Venus is a ruler of Taurus, and we have Uranus in retrograde in Taurus currently. Literally, this is supposed to be your wallet, your money, the things you guys own. Now, it's funny because Uranus is in retrograde. What I think may be happening is there may be like this opposite effect. It's either you guys may spend money on traveling, but I think because Uranus is in retrograde and Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, is in retrograde, it's weird because I'm not getting that same effect that I would think would be happening with Sagittarius placements. Instead, I'm getting a review, like what are your values? Again, there's a self-reflecting energy going on during this time. There's a shakeup. So I do feel like Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Cancer is our emotions. It's our internal realm. So I do think there's going to be this energy of freeing ourselves in regards to what we love, either about home or about what feels like home. That's what I think. Either you guys are going to be spending money, either you guys are possibly going to be spending money. I don't think so, though. It could be on traveling. It could be on property. But it's more, I'm getting about your values. What do you value when it comes to love? And it connects back to Cancer, with Jupiter being there. That's what I'm getting. Otherwise, I would give you the typical Venus and Sagittarius-like things, which is talking about freedom-oriented energy, the love for traveling, higher knowledge, some type of belief system. So yeah, I'll channel it again. The energy that I'm getting is I feel like we're going to love to learn how to break free from limiting ourselves. That's what I'm getting. So wherever we stop ourselves in our life, wherever we are our own block, we're going to want to learn how to break free from this. That's what I'm getting. I'm telling you, it connects back to Uranus and retrograde in Taurus. And also what I'm getting is it connects back to Pluto being in Aquarius. Like we're going to be trying to transform something psychological within us. Because there's like this, I don't want to say it's like a eureka moment. It's not that. It's just like we're realizing that we're holding ourselves back and we're trying to get out of this. That's what I'm seeing. And that's what's coming through with Venus and Sagittarius. So I'm specifically getting Mercury in Scorpio and Uranus in retrograde with Taurus, the throat chakra. So I feel like we may be investing money into ways how to free ourselves from whatever holds us back. And we may be learning, investing money into things to teach us. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so, all right. So with that being said, let's go over the month of November. So with Chiron and Ceres in the first house, we have our inner child wounds. This is a thing that's been playing out. Chiron is in retrograde. So I think for some of us, this is probably manifesting as literally physical pain. And then for some of us, it's our inner child wounds. I think it's manifesting differently every time Mars is going into a different zodiac sign. So I think when Mars was in... I just remembered Mars has been in Sagittarius this month. Pretty positive. So we're just going to go there. So while Mars has been in Sagittarius, I'm sure what type of pain has come up is, where do we limit ourselves? Where do we keep ourselves a prisoner? And why? How does it stem from childhood or due to lack of self-confidence? And then with Ceres, this is talking about how can we nurture ourselves. With Aries energy, it's like the only way to manifest things in our life is literally the Nike slogan, just do it. Otherwise, nothing will happen. So yeah, you just have to do whatever it is. So if Mars is in Sagittarius, it's like you have to follow spirit, that guidance. Moving on, Uranus in retrograde in Taurus, there's going to be some type of shakeup when it comes to, again, it's like you're revisiting some type of topic since 2018. I think most of us have experienced either a new career, a new job, some type of shakeup when it comes to how we make our money, and are we happy with how we make our money? If it's not that, then I would say, what do we value in life? Do we know? We may be revisiting these topics, or maybe these topics come up subconsciously. I think pay attention this month more so, if you aren't noticing it. Uranus was in retrograde in Gemini when this was happening. I think conversations were coming up with friends. They could have been manifesting as arguments, and I think they would have been old topics that weren't really being dealt with. So it wouldn't have been such a surprise, like whatever these, things that suddenly came up, like things that were shocking, weren't so shocking. Anything else I want to say to that one? Jupiter being in retrograde in Cancer, it's either going to manifest in having difficulty manifesting, having difficulty believing, but really it's like the slowdown here is to get you to try to believe. If you're having difficulty with this, it's supposed to try to get you to be more spiritual or have some type of belief system. Jupiter being in Cancer is exalted. So really the whole point of this transit is to connect with your heart. So wherever Cancer is. So if Cancer is in your 7th house, oh, that would be cool if it's in your 7th house, because then you guys could potentially manifest either the right partner at this time or the right business partner. That'd be nice. Nice. Okay, fortune in Cancer as well. It's not always like financial fortune. Sometimes it's like spiritual fortune. So literally go after what emotionally fulfills you. Anything else I want to say to that? Nah. Leo, nothing going on. Virgo, South Node. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to cross your T's, dot your I's. Okay.